Kira. Kano, you bloody whatever.
Hello guys, and welcome to another MK Mobile character review, today featuring Commando Kano. As usual guys, please note the date when this video has been recorded, because a lot of things may have changed since then. And if you're not familiar with the matrix I'm using in order to evaluate characters, you can find it on the top right corner of the screen. So without any further ado, let us put Commando Kano to the test. Commando Kano guys was released on the 7th of April 2015. He was one of the original characters when the game kicked off, and in the old store his price was 235 souls. After update 2.0 he's no longer part of any store and his price has increased slightly, 250 souls now. So let us check why he is that cheap. His attack is 31,374, which ranks the 50th highest in the game and the 30th among the gold cards. The hit points there, attention, only 56,064, which is the 54th highest in MK Mobile and the 34th in the gold league. The toughness is 31,752, which ranks 39th in the game and 21st highest among all gold cards, and the recovery is 26,460, which is the 44th highest in MK Mobile and the 27th highest in the gold league. The power generation, as expected, is 100%. So for his stats, Commando Kano is going to get only 13.1 out of 28 possible points. Kano Bow. This is the name of special one of Commando Kano guys. Basically it looks like any other special one of any other Kano in the game. What you need to know about it is that first, it can be completely blocked with the opponent. Unfortunately it doesn't have any buff or debuff whatsoever. The good news is that it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 5 mini hits, and it has the single tap circle as mini game. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 11,906, which is the 68th highest in the game and the 37th highest in the gold league. The maximum damage is terribly low as well, 21,431, the 73rd highest in the game and the 42nd among the golds. Once again, the special attack can be blocked by the opponent, it doesn't have any buff or debuff, it can be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 5 mini attacks, and it has the single tap circle as minigame. So for his special one, Commando Kano is going to get 5.1 out of 13 possible points. Special 2 of Commando Kano guys is called, are you ready? It is called Peace and Moan. And this is what you need to know about it. Apart from the fact that it has very subtle name, let's go this way. Anyways, the ability is unblockable. Even though the first mini hits can be blocked, still, let's say that it is completely unblockable. In addition, like his special one, this special attack doesn't have any buff or debuff unfortunately. It cannot be cast from distance, it is a grapple, so if you are mid-range or long-range away from the enemy, the ability will miss. It is lethal, it consists of 5 mini hits, and it has the 2 multi-tap circles as minigame. When it comes to damage, the minimum damage of the ability is 26,194, which is the 72nd highest in the game and the 39th highest among the gold cards, and the maximum damage is 38,100, which is the 90th highest in the game and the 53rd highest among the gold cards. And I hope you understand that when I say it is the 90th highest in the game, it is the 90th distinct highest in the game. So very well, this might mean that Commando Kano has the worst maximum damage of all gold characters in the game, of all characters in the game. This is how bad it is. Anyways, let's repeat the properties of the ability. Special 2 of Kano is unblockable, it doesn't have any buff or debuff, it cannot be cast from distance, it is lethal, it consists of 5 mini hits, and it has the 2 multi-tap circles as minigame. So for his special 2, Commando Kano is going to get only 8 out of 19 possible points. And one more thing, you have to be careful with this special ability if you wanna do it immediately after the flying knee combo ender, because if this is the case, then it will completely miss. Okay guys, we got to the X-ray. Nothing special I can say here. A regular X-ray, a regular Kano X-ray. It has strength as buff, and the good news is that at least it can be cast from distance without any issues. When it comes to damage, the damage of the X-ray is really low. It is only 71,438, which is the 81st highest in the game and the 49th among the gold cards. Once again, the X-ray has strength as buff, and it can be cast from distance. So for his X-ray, Commando Kano is going to get 2.7 out of 4 possible points, and the total amount of points he gets for his special attack adds up to only 15.9 out of 36 possible points. Okay guys, I am convinced that some of you will disagree with me here, but come on, in my opinion, Commando Kano doesn't have the worst basic attacks in the game. Quite the contrary, if you give him some good block breaker, his basic attacks are kind of okay. He doesn't push opponents away if they're blocking, his chaining is not really the greatest in the world, and unfortunately his special 1 and special 2 don't really flow perfectly after both of his combo enders, but still his punching speed is kind of okay, especially with the combo that starts with the fast punches, not the one that starts with the kick, but we're going to get to that later. And Commando Kano, guys, to my amazement, has one of the best basic attacks if you have cornered the enemy. If the enemy is cornered, then he works pretty great if Commando Kano, of course, has block breaker equipment. If he doesn't have block breaker equipment, he is not really the greatest puncher in the game, though there's one exception. You know, every character has 2 combos, or let's say 99% of the characters. And in Commando's Kano case, he starts with the combo with the low kick. This combo is kind of slow. However, the next combo, the combo that starts with the punches, is one of the best combos to interrupt the enemy basics. I know this is really difficult to pull off. You have to know your enemy, you have to know which is the combo that you can interrupt, and you have to know which is the combo that is currently active on Commando Kano. For example, as you can currently see, enemy Hanzo Hasashi is trying to hit me. I know that he has a wide gap between the first and the second of his mini hits of his combo, so I also know that Commando Kano has the fast punches as combo ender, which is ready, so I am interrupting his basic attacks in the middle using my basic attacks. So definitely you can kind of make him work. His basics are not terrible, definitely not one of the best, but I would say that they're just okay. So I'll be giving him 7.1 out of 10 possible points for his basic attacks. The passive of Commando Kano, guys, is called Cyborg Eye. And here it is what it does. I quote, plus 25% critical hit chance, immunity to blind. Now, okay, so I want to start with the blind immunity. Because, first of all, blind is not that common debuff. And second of all, if a character has blind, usually we're talking about very strong characters, such as Assassin Jade, such as Terminator, the Dark Fate Terminator, such as, I believe also MK11 Jade has blind. So, if Commando Kano is facing either of those characters, the blind is going to be the least of his worries. After all, Commando Kano is really weak with very bad stats. Very squishy. Imagine him trying to face Smoke. Smoke has blind, so basically Smoke's passive won't work on Commando Kano. And also, Commando Kano doesn't have any debuffs on his special attack, so in other words, guys, Classic Smoke doesn't work against Commando Kano. There you go, Commando Kano totally counters Classic Smoke. No, actually he doesn't. This immunity to blind is very bad. I mean, it doesn't help this character at all. If you buff a character, make him stronger with better stats, with some debuffs on his base, on his special attacks, probably this immunity to blind will add some value. But at this point, even if you pick Commando Kano, and unless you give him some crazy tower equipment, you'll never face strong characters with blind, so this part of his passive is totally worthless. And even if we agree that you're going to be facing characters with blind often, blind is not really the strongest debuff. It is annoying, I agree, but it isn't the strongest debuff in the game, so I'd rather take immunity to stun, for example, or immunity to fire or to bleed. Anyways, the good part of his passive, the only part of his passive which deserves some points in the 25% critical hit chance, because Commando Kano has one of the worst stats in the game, if not the worst. He almost doesn't do any damage whatsoever, so this is the only thing that kind of saves him from being absolute garbage. And yeah, basically there's nothing else I can say. The immunity to blind is total worthless, and critical hit chance is something, but it is not enough to make this character useful, so I'll be giving just 5 points for Commando Kano passive. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say. I rest my case. And actually, I'm being generous here. 5 points for this passive, 25% critical hit chance. I can say that it's okay, but if we translate this 25% critical hit chance on his basic attacks, on his special attack damage, then this is not okay, right? So what I was saying is that if Commando Kano was generally a stronger character and his passive was only plus 25% critical hit chance, I would have given him more points. But this passive on these weak stats, it simply doesn't work. Anyways, so 5 points for his passive, and he gets 0 points for target attack and only 1 point for classes because he's just an outworld character. I have reviewed more than 90 Mortal Kombat mobile character, guys, and for the first time ever, we have a character that scores that low. And that's unfortunate. Now, I don't know who in Warner Brothers development team or in NetherRealm Studios development team decided that all Kano should be very bad. It's like Kano is the worst, the weakest character in Mortal Kombat. I disagree with that, but for some reason they think he is, because every single variation of Kano is underwhelming. Thank God that we had a Diamond Kano, and even the Diamond Kano, he's just okay, he's nothing special. But in the past, even the Diamond Kano was a Gold Kano, and he was even worse than Commando Kano, because unlike Commando Kano, Gold Kano passive was like this. He's cheap. I'm not kidding, this was his passive. He's cheap. You can obtain him by coins. That was his passive. So Commando Kano passive is close to that. It's really bad, but let's take a look at the bigger picture. He has bad stats, bad special attacks. He doesn't have any buffs or debuff on both of his special and special 2. That's really horrible. His basic attacks are kind of okay. The only decent thing about him, his passive is worthless. So yeah, I don't know why Warner Brothers hate Kano. I think he's a cool character. I think he deserves better in the game. No idea why they decided that every single weak character in Mortal Kombat Mobile should have Kano as a title. I don't agree with that. I disagree with that. To be honest, I'm not even convinced that Ninja Mime Johnny Cage is worse than Kano, because Ninja Mime Johnny Cage, if you team him up with Shaolin Kung Lao, he becomes much better than Kano, because he has Power Dragon Special 1 and Kano doesn't even have that. Anyways, so I'm sorry, 0 points for Kano. He's literally painful to play with, so yeah, I wish we have a better Kano. I wish the time will come when we're going to have a really good Kano card. I mean, let's face it, Diamond Kano is just underwhelming diamond card, nothing special. He's not terrible, but nothing special. Commando Kano is probably the worst gold card in the game. Classic Kano is squishy as hell. We just need a good Kano. Anyways, with my 0 subjective points, guys, he's going to score 43, and we can label him as a very bad character. To be honest, the previous all-time low score was Injustice Scorpion, who managed to score 51.4. Commando Kano couldn't even cross the 45 mark border. I wish he did that, because between 45 and 50 you get bad, and if you score less than 45 you get very bad. And unfortunately for Commando Kano, he's at the bottom of our ranking, and we can label him as a very bad character. Okay guys, we got to the gameplay. Now, Commando Kano, honestly, it doesn't matter where you place him, because I prefer his special 1 to his special 2. I would say that he's kind of okay as an opener, not the greatest opener at all, but still he can be just decent. So if you have to use this character, which I don't recommend, but even if you decide that you want to have fun with him, then it is totally up to you whether you want him as an opener or not. He performs equally bad like everywhere. With that said, when it comes to the characters that he counters, I don't want to say that he counters Jade, because Jade has blind on special 2. Commando Kano will never survive her special 2, so it's not about the blind. I don't want to say that he counters classic smoke. I don't want to say that he counters MK11 Jade. He doesn't counter anybody. So yeah, and when it comes to the characters that counter him, I would say every character in the game counters Commando Kano. I mean, come on, at least they could have given him one small buff with the buff on his special 1, but he doesn't even have that. And when it comes to the items, guys, for the first time ever, I would say whatever items, really, it doesn't matter. But if you give him any type of block breaker, that will benefit him. Because without block breaker, you have to kind of rely on his special 2, and you kind of have to rely on perfect timing on breaking enemy combos. So I would say it's not really worth it. It doesn't pay off. So just give him block breaker and do your best. Okay guys, we got to the teams. Now, which is the best team for Commando Kano? You should, guys, never ever use Commando Kano with challenge gold characters with good stats and with diamond cards. You should never do that, because otherwise you're going to get, because if you do that, you will get wrecked by very strong diamond teams. So I would say that probably the best and only team for Commando Kano, this is Commando Kano and 2 supports, and those supports should be Sun God Kotokan and Nimble Reptile. Reason being, he gets 30% attack and 30% health, so that he can start working to certain extent. He won't be satisfied, but still, he won't feel that he doesn't do any damage at all. Okay guys, Commando Kano, what do you think of him? Do you like him? Do you dislike him? Do you like the state he is currently, or do you think he deserves a buff? Please let me know down below in the comment section. And as usual, if you want to see more reviews, you can find the playlist on the top right corner of the screen. See you next time, guys. Take care and stay safe.
Ain't worth spitting on.
Excellent.
Perfect.